I think a lot of beginning entrepreneurs have, and even now sometimes, like, of just opening your mouth and talking to somebody, you feel like they're gonna be like, "Girl, don't talk to me, get out of here." But like,
Right,
but people
right.
are,
But you know what? Some people do that still. Like I've had. Don't think it's always been easy now with me going in place. I've had people turn me around, like oh, they don't want to talk, or
mm,
like I'm not interested. So it's not easy. People will still turn you down.
it's just that fear, that initial fear of
Right,
getting like, okay, so they turn me down. It's just a no.
right,
It's like not a
right.
big deal.
You know
Not
what my thing is? To 10 no's, you gonna get a one yes somewhere. So
That's
that's just how
true.
I think about it now when I'm talking. I'm like, okay, they said no. Okay, that person might have said no. Okay, but before I leave here today,
Somebody
somebody
somebody gonna say yes.
Mhm.
And that's a good way to look at it, because sometimes we get hung up on the like five
Oh
no's
no.
straight. Oh my gosh, like, let me go home. But
Yes,
that persistence and really that hustle inside, that you gotta, like, you know what, I have to keep going, because
yes.
it's just a no. It's not like they're going,
End of the world.
exactly. So,
And
so
I'm
true.
very persistent. So I'm like, somebody gonna say yeah.
Mm, that's a great mindset to have, because um, that's the only way that business can actually go forward. Like, there's so many different things that come up, I feel like, in life. When you think you're going in the right direction, or when you know you're going in the right direction, things always want to pop up and, try to push you off course.
All the time.
And so when things like that happen now, how do you handle those things?
I just always remind myself, like I just every day I think I tell myself to stay focused. I always have to remind myself, like, it's a bigger picture. I have
Mm,
I have kids. I have to show them what I'm doing so they can know. Coming up, like my children are older now, so they're definitely watching. Like my youngest is 18, so
hmm.
they're definitely watching what I'm doing. They're watching my steps. So
Yes.
I just have to tell myself, stay focused. Like that's just what you have to do.
There's no giving up. There's like no other option. It's like either we do it or we do it. you
Yeah.
know, that's so
Yeah.
true.
And I always tell them too, I'm kind of glad that, the shoe boutique happened the way it happened and the clothing happened the way it happened because I'm like, I always felt like three strikes and you out. And this is my third go round. So I'm like, this gotta work. Oh, this is gonna
Mm.
work.
And then your background in the health field, it's like it came full circle.
Right.
So
Right.
a
I'm
lot of
just
this.
not as hands on now as I was then, because I was a
Mm,
CNA then. So I was like really, really hands on. Where now I'm just, kind of getting urine or, doing a physical or, a
hmm.
hair collection, something like that, DNA test. So I'm not as hands on as I was with the CNA.
Mm-hmm. What was the process like in actually getting the page testing solutions started, as far as, like, if you could give me like three steps that you had to do, and if someone is listening and they're like interested in, that sounds like something I might want to do, what would you say are three like major steps that you took in order to get to where you are right now?
So I would say the first step is to get certified as a drug test collector. Like you
Mm,
have to do that in order to move on with this type of business. The next thing I would say is finding your location. Like your location is so important in this business because we use different softwares,
mm-hmm,
and if an area is oversaturated with the software, they
mm-hmm,
won't give you the software. So
mm.
location is very, very important. And then just getting set up with the right labs. So I would say those were my biggest three steps.
Okay. So your company works with several other labs. It's not just like
Right.
one lab that you work with.
Right.
Oh, okay. So partnerships, building up those partnerships
Yes.
sounds like it's super important.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. And then as far as the mindset behind, okay, I have to build these partnerships. How do I do you from the you said you had to get certified, right? From the certification program, do they give you any like a list of people to call, or like a list of labs, or those like organic relationships that you had to build, that your company
No,
had to establish?
no. So when I did my certification, got my certifications, a few labs were given to me, but
Mm-hmm.
not all of the ones that I'm connected to now. So it was
Mm,
just kind of like me getting together with other people, collabing and just speaking, talking, going to networking events, networking, doing different things to how I found other labs that I
mm.
can partner with.
Okay, okay, okay. So definitely that we get right back to that networking and talking to
Mhm.
people and building that relationship.
Yes,
I find that in business in general, when it comes to entrepreneurship, definitely building those relationships is so important, like
it
in
is.
on every level, you know? Wow, there's just no substitute for it.
It's
An
not
email
you
just won't
definitely
do.
no, you definitely have to stay connected. You definitely have to get in the right places, get in front of the right people, because that's the only way. That's the only way,
Mm,
that you're really gonna make it. I hear so many people laugh and say things like on Instagram, because social media is the thing. So I hear so many people say, how do people have a business and their page is private? I don't know. I don't know how people do it. Like, how
mm,
is your page private? Like, how do you network?
mm,
How are you visible if your page
right.
is private?
It's
So you definitely have to, you have to be out there. You have to post. You have to network. You have to get in these communities. You have to go to events. Like you have to.
It's so true. It's so true. Or else literally people will need your service and not
Mhm.
even know that you exist. And they over there struggling with their problem. And because for whatever reason, I mean, there are a lot of different reasons why people don't put themselves out there. I think women in particular, as a Black woman, there are so many obstacles that present themselves, but at the same time, there are also opportunities. And so it's about having that perspective or that lens to say, all right, let's look at the opportunity in this situation. This might seem to be a roadblock, but maybe I could use it as a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block, you know?
Right. Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So where do you see your business in like the next 5 to 10 years? Like what's the vision?
So my vision is to actually get a bigger location and to get another location. I actually want to open two more locations
Okay.
in different states,
Mm-hmm.
not in Georgia and two different other states, but that's my vision for the next 5 or 10 years, and to have me a future.
Oh, oh, and I have a few trucks as well. Yes, 100%.
Yes,
That's
that's definitely my
awesome.
vision.
I could definitely see Page Testing Solutions franchised, or like multiple locations. That would be
Yeah.
amazing because
Hmm.
with the millions of truck drivers that are out there, there's definitely a need in the industry for it. Is
Yeah.
this something that someone would be able to do from home, or is it something that you need to go into an office to do?
You could definitely, it's definitely something that could be done from home because you can be like a mobile collector.
Oh,
So it's possible if you don't have a brick and mortar, you can still, do drug testing. You'll just be a mobile collector. I don't know if um how connected with the labs or what labs, that you can go through being a mobile collector. Because like I
hmm,
said, we have certain software that you do need to have a brick and mortar to have that
mm,
software.
okay,
But I know a couple people that are
okay,
mobile drug
okay.
testing
That's
collectors.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And so when it comes to finding like new clients and things like that, what would you say has been like a major asset for you, or like has been like a game changer?
Definitely word of mouth.
Okay.
Word of mouth and seeing my face. Because I go, like I go, I get in my car and I go. I go to different warehouses and uh different stores or different
Mm,
hotels or chamber of commerce. Like I go. They see my
okay.
face.
Oh, so they can put a name, they could put that face with the name that they might see on paper. Yeah,
Yeah,
so definitely getting out there, pounding the pavement and really getting in people's face about making sure that your business is front and center.
yes,
Ooh,
yeah.
it what would you say has been what's your biggest win as far as you've been running your business and like you know how there's like learning curves sometimes, like I know for me, being in this industry has been a huge learning curve. I'm coming from a completely different industry. So what would you say that biggest learning curve have been for you?
I think contracts and bids.
Mm, tell us more.
That will be my business. I never knew like about the contracts and how to even do contracts or go after contracts, even with the bidding. Like that's a whole nother world.
Wow.
It's a whole nother world with the bidding. Like, when I'm going through, or me and my staff is going through, and we're looking at, okay, this is up. Let's try to bid for this, or
Hmm.
this contract is available. Let's try to go in and do this contract. Like, I just be amazed because I never knew. I
So you.
never knew. Like, I just feel like we don't read enough. That's what I tell my
Mm.
I said we don't read enough. That's why we don't know about these things, because we don't sit down and we don't read.
Oh,
So
I see.
we're in tune now. So we're all like every week we're looking at different contracts that we may can go for, different bids that we can go for. So
Mm.
that's definitely my biggest.
Wow.
Definitely,
Yeah, and you're talking about government contracts.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
the government contracting is a huge, huge market. Like, because, government contracts, the government is like the number one consumer. And one would never think that, oh, they buy everything, like, including drug testing. That makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense. Mm.
yes, and also I would say certifications like minority certification,
Mm.
women owned certifications. Like I was in business, I had page testing almost like 7 months before I even knew anything about that.
Mm, I see.
So I just
Wow.
recently, within the last couple of months, found out about your minority certification, your women owned certification. So that's a big step too.
Yeah,
So
that's so important.
I'm working on those, getting those certifications as well.
Okay, I just spoke with someone recent, Dr. Cassandra Bradford. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
Yes, that's her thing.
That's
She
her
does
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm working with her. I'm working with
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Cassandra.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah, so definitely tapping into all of the resources that are out there for small businesses, and within that niche that you're in is so expansive, and like there's so much opportunity for anyone who would want to get in.
yes.
So if there's a woman that's listening now who might find herself in, so actually, I'm going to change the question. If you could say something to Kaya 10 years ago, what kind of advice would you give her now, knowing what you know now and everything that Kaya has been through? What would you say to her now?